Hi, Yoli.
Hi.
I just want to first of all tell you thank you so much for allowing me to come into your home and take some of your personal time and space. Just to ask a few questions, have a little dialogue. Um, I appreciate your time and just your hospitality because I'm actually here in Dallas visiting, and we've known each other for quite a while, about 15 years now, a little bit over 15 years. But I've learned some things about you that I didn't know. Not the full details, anyway. So I'd like to take some time today and see if you'll kind of give me a little bit of history. Tell us about yourself, a little bit about your background, and some things you'd like to share about your book.
Well, basically, I'm an open book. I am a warrior by nature. I like to call myself an entrepreneur, an athlete, but by trade, I'm a buyer, supply chain buyer for the healthcare realm of things. And so, with the pandemic, so to speak, this is the year that I have truly been challenged. So I like to say that I'm a creative person. I am a loyal person to those that I deem my friends. And I like to focus on the favor. But nonetheless, I have a mantra that I always say: if you mess with the bull, you will get the horns. So, but other than that, just a regular, what I would say, a down to earth sister that believes in sisterhood, that believes in friendships and kinships.
I agree with that. Okay, so first of all, tell us what inspired you to write the book, a little bit about your history and what made you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and write this book.
Oh. Well, my book, They Sleep Amongst Us, is about recall, rescue, and resources. My book was inspired by the fact that at one time or another, most recently in my life, about 5 years ago, a relative of mine had a boyfriend that spent the night over to our house. To come to find out, he had molested his granddaughter, and it just brought back a lot of emotional recall of growing up on. And I decided to write this book because it used to be taboo, but what's happening now is that we're becoming guppies, and if anybody that knows the species of the guppy fish, we know that they eat their young. And so when we prey on our young children, and when we prey on our little girls, and now we have to say our little boys, I think that it's time to uh, start some real dialogue, and we have to start it at an earlier age than we've ever done before.
Right.
So this is just about my encounters um, growing up with child molestation. These are my stories, which I've changed up the name, and if it doesn't do anything but reach one child, one person, one family, then I feel I feel that I've done my job, and not to mention it's therapeutic for me as well.
I agree with that. That's sort of my mantra. Each one reach one.
Mm-hmm.
So if my audience or who I'm speaking to, even this time that we're spending, if it reaches one person, I feel like we've accomplished a
Mm-hmm.
lot. If
Mm-hmm.
one person realizes that they're not alone, it's happened to others before and we've survived it, and that you can get through this.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's the sad case of things today is that so many of us have been in this situation, and those who say they haven't, I believe deep in my heart they just don't realize it, and it's sad. It's really sad. Recently, I read somewhere there are 400 untested rape kits in this
Wow.
United States, and is that lack of having employment for people to read them or concern. These cases aren't even tapped on unless you're in the system or unless you're in the FBI database and have given a DNA. But now they're getting even smarter with this, is that people that take those genealogy tests to tell their ancestry, now FBI is tapping into those, and that's a good thing. But the fact of the matter is that there are so many things that go unsaid, go undone, and go unproven, that we have to find a way to educate ourselves and to let children know things that don't feel right 9 times out of 10 aren't right.
Okay.
We need our village. I think I survived mainly because of the village I was surrounded by.
Which leads me to a couple of my next questions. The one question is, what is the audience for your book?
I am actually, believe it or not, I want the age of 7 to 17. I really do. And that's why I'm making it more of an illustration book, and making it as condensed, as short, as big as this subject matter is, as I can, because I want them to want to read the book. I want parents to want to sit down and have a serious dialogue with their children, and let them know that to come to them. When I was growing up, I felt that my parents only knew what they knew growing up, and so I think we can use that as twofold, to educate both the parent and to educate the child.
Yeah, I agree. So I hear this question a lot. People asking what they would tell their younger self or things like that. But I guess I would like to rephrase the question and say, if you only had a little time and a few words to speak to an audience of children from the ages 7 to 17, what are the few words that you would give them in that short amount of time?
I guess I would probably tell them, it's not your fault. It's not our fault that some of us mature earlier than others. It's not our fault when we develop breast, or we have pubic hairs that grow. It's not our fault. And to trust and believe that people outside of your family, if you have to, can be there for you.
That's good. So, having gone through the experience that you've gone through, can you share with us some of the tools that you use, just survival tactics, or just to keep yourself in a good mental state?
Well, I think because of who I am and who I was made to be, and I think I started off saying that I'm a natural warrior. I came in the beginning. I thought it was my fault. I said, I don't know why my breasts are bigger, or it's my fault that